Hi everyone!
Hello.
We're back again. In case you haven't seen a couple of videos I've uploaded before this one, we're in Bath. That's why we're not in my living room.
We're in a hotel room.
We're in a hotel room in Bath. Our last night in Bath, and we've had a bit of an insane day because we're exhausted.
Tired.
We went to the Jane Austen Centre, which was great, but we also did an insane 7 hours of walking.
We've just literally walked the length and breadth of the city, haven't we?
Twice.
And it got to the point where we were going up to the Royal Crescent again, and I turned to you and said, do we have to do this? You were like,
no.
You're like, no.
Let's just give Royal Crescent a miss. Even though it's absolutely stunning, we've been there. We've had a picnic there.
Yeah,
we've been there multiple times today. Yeah. Let's not do it.
We're just too tired.
Yeah.
So tired.
So we wanted to do a video where we just talk about things that we like and things that we don't like, really, because I suppose because we did the video that I've uploaded previously about rain of this,
where basically we just slagged it off for an hour.
Yeah,
in the name of love, we slagged it off.
It was fun.
It was.
But we wanted to talk about other things that we like and things that we don't like, and it may link on to the next video that we've got planned to do. Sort of. So we might cover it, but we're going to cover in more detail that aspect in our next video. So, shall we talk about, what do you want to talk about, things we like and don't like first?
We could talk about, as we are in her city,
Jane Austen.
Our favourite Jane Austen films.
Oh, okay.
I know we did.
Yes.
We did kind of do that, but we didn't. We were talking more about the books than the films.
Yes, we were.
Like, for example, I love The Persuasion with Rupert Penry Jones.
Yes.
I loathe The Persuasion with Kieran Hines and Amanda Root.
There you go.
I don't like that at all.
In case you haven't seen that video, I've only seen the first one of the two that we referred to, the more recent one, because ITV had this season, I think probably about 5 years ago now or something, or maybe a bit longer than that, where they did adaptations of Northanger Abbey, Mansfield Park, and Persuasion. And that particular one is the Persuasion. And it was quite funny because yesterday as well, we went to Royal Crescent and everything, but I haven't... The thing about Bath is that we come here from time to time.
Yeah. Not
regularly, but we come here from time to time. And I was thinking, the amount of times I've been here, I can't remember the last time I went to Royal Crescent. I must have been very young. I've never done the Jane Austen Centre.
Yeah, I know.
So today we were very Jane Austen minded, weren't we? And we went to Royal Crescent first thing in the morning. And we were actually talking about, because there's a sequence near the end where they've used Bath for shooting Bath sequences. And there's the moment of running through
she's just running back and forth.
Running through the streets in order to get to Wentworth, and this is the main girl, to be able to get to Wentworth to tell him that she loves him. And then when you actually look at the occasions, you're like, yeah, she just went back and forth and back and forth, and they've just edited it to make it look like she's running, all over Bath.
But to me, the Kieran Hines one is very, I don't know, it's kind of, I want to say of its time. It's not really that old. I think it was only 1995.
Yeah, because they showed it in the centre.
Yeah.
In the centre today, didn't they?
But I think Amanda Root was too old to play Anne Elliot.
Right.
She's on the wrong side of 30 to be playing Anne Elliot. But either way, there are certain things. Do you want to... What's that?
Oh, hang on. Oh no, it'll fade away. Okay. Sorry, there was an alert that came up on my screen.
Something weird. There are certain Austen-esque films that could be put in a dumpster fire as far as I'm concerned, like Austenland. Have you seen that?
Yeah, right. Austenland is one of those... I've read the book. I've got the book. I've got both books because there's two of them.
Yeah.
And the second one is linked to Agatha Christie, and it's a mystery, and it's, Right, the book and the film are completely separate.
Perhaps I need to read the book then.
There is a lot of stuff that happens in the film which is in the book. I'll grant you. Yeah? But there's a lot of stuff in the film that just makes you go, what the heck, you know? And it's kind of like even the reason why she's there in the first place in Austenland, it's completely different in the book. It's like, and that then screws up the whole point.
But
because this is the thing, like, because in the book she's paid to be there because she wants to be there, whereas in the film, her family have got her the ticket and made her go to get over this addiction. And it's so when all this stuff happens, she wants to leave, but then it's the thing of, she's like, well, I've spent so much money on this. This was a massive financial burden on me.
Yeah.
I can't really, this will be all a waste for nothing, so I'm going to stay.
Yeah.
Whereas the whole thing of, with the is like, with the friend buying it for her and family, it's like, well, they haven't got the financial tie there, so what's making you stay? It's really awkward and weird.
I think a lot of the time with things like that, it's like if producers don't agree with something that the author's done, they'll just go, oh well, we'll jib that and do this, which is more palatable to the audience, or it's easier to understand. I hate that phrase, particularly coming from no, I'm not going to say that. But particularly coming from producers or directors or anybody who comes into contact with material that is over 100 years old. We've got to make the history easier to understand. We've got to make the language easier to understand. I am so tired of the dumbing down of TV and film, and it's like, do you know what, I have a brain, let me use it.
It kind of has a link for Rain there from the previous video.
Yeah, it does.
Because it dumbs down Mary Queen of Scots history so much, and messes with it so much, and it's like, this isn't even...
And it almost tries to be a bit after school specially as well. Yeah. Like, you know, the King of France, the most powerful person in that country who has absolute power, says to his lover, we'll wait until you're ready to have sex. Which, do you know what, as a sentiment is fine if the man is not the King of France. Yeah. Who has a voracious sexual appetite.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, as much as I love that message for teenagers, and that's the correct message to give to them, from a historical point of view, that is totally wrong. That man would have had women literally lining up outside his bedroom. Like, I get, you know, the marketing thing, fine, okay, I get that. But for me, as a 35-year-old woman, when I'm watching something that, you know, has to be made easier to understand, I find that attitude horrifically patronising. Yeah. And horrifically, like with the Tudors, the second, third and fourth series of the Tudors, I would argue, are some of the best TV that were produced at the time. Yeah. Because they got into the rhythm of the history, of the costuming and everything.
The political side.
Yeah, the political side, the writing settled down. But the first season bent over backwards so that you absolutely understood the politics of it all. And it's not difficult. It really isn't. Sir Thomas More was an advisor. Do you know what I mean? And they had to do his whole backstory and why possibly he felt the way he did, and it was just all a bit like, okay, but the audience that you're selling this to, i.e. us British people, we're not without knowledge of this.
It's our history.
But then again, you and I
was just about to say that it was made by an American production company, so therefore America is their big...
is the draw
market.
Yeah.
so they have to make it understand. But but then there are a lot of people here in the UK who don't know history the same as us, because we grew up with history being a prominent thing in our childhood.
But all right then. To put it another way, the Killing or Borgen or say the Shura, all of them are foreign series. All of them involve politics, and all of them
and 1864.
Yeah, and 1864, and none of them need to talk down to their audience in order to get their point across.
No.
What it requires from us is undivided attention.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. That's literally it. But I'm incredibly tired of the patronising of audiences. Like, really, really grates on me. And that's probably one of the main reasons why I hated Sherlock season 4 as much as I did.
Yeah.
Because that was just...
Are we going to go back to Jane Austen? Because we kind of started on Jane Austen and then it's kind of fluttered away.
It's fine.
Yeah, no. But just because we talked about one Jane Austen and then that was it.
Yeah, right, go back then. What about Lost in Austen? I liked that, actually.
I loved Lost in Austen.
I really liked it.
I really liked her. The modern girl who finds Elizabeth Bennet in her bathroom because there's a portal from her bathroom into the world of Pride and Prejudice, and they kind of swap places, but they know that the girl, the modern girl, is not Lizzie. She's a friend of Lizzie's who comes to stay in Lizzie's, and she pretends Lizzie's gone somewhere else. And it's all about how her influences mess up the story. And there's some really weird things, like Mr. Bingley and Jane don't get together, so he becomes a heavy drinker, and there's...
Who is it that's a lesbian? Caroline Bingley's a lesbian?
Caroline Bingley's a lesbian, yeah.
Which, to be fair, I could see.
Yeah.
If you were married
and of course there is the moment where Mr. Darcy's fallen for the modern girl. I can't remember her name, but
it's something totally not Austinian.
It's like Sasha or something like that, isn't it?
No, what is it?
Amanda.
It's Amanda.
And he says, well, is there something I can do for you? Because she said, no, we can't do this. I said, well, there is one thing. And he's there in a fountain or in the lake.
Yeah.
Soaking wet, the t-shirt because of the 95.
Yeah.
And she went, there's a lot of readers of Austen who are going to be very angry at me for doing this, but I don't care.
It was
really cute.
It was cute. It was very sweet.
Whereas, like, Lost in Austen, what Lost in Austen did was that it was smart yet funny, whereas
although I have to
Austen Land, the book is like that, but the film lost it.
I have to say, I don't know what Alex Kingston is doing in Lost in Austen, but Alex is a great actress. Yeah. She's so good.
Mrs. Bennet, sorry.
She's so earthy and sexy and a great character actress. And then you gave Mrs. Bennet to her, and I don't really know what happened, but it's not one of her best performances. Put it that way.
It's what it is. It was quite funny because when we were in the Jane Austen Centre, they had like a whole shelf of various adaptations, and they were like, got that.
There's one I thought I had, but thinking about it afterwards, I didn't, and it's called Miss Austen Regrets.
No, I remember seeing bits of it when it aired, and I sort of liked it, but I didn't. It was kind of Jane Austen in the last few years of her life, wasn't it?
Jane very bitter.
And it was kind of like how they portrayed it was as she was writing Persuasion or something, wasn't it?
Something like that,
but Persuasion was published after she died, as we learned today at the Jane Austen Centre. It was odd, that drama.
It was, and Jane is portrayed as being quite bitter and quite angry that her life has turned out the way it has, and I never sort of see her that way. No. I think she was a woman who writing was her career, it was her love, it was her children, as she referred to Pride and Prejudice as her most darling child in a letter to Cassandra. That was her her child.
Yeah.
That she.
You're right.
Yes, I'm fine. So that was her career, and that was it. That's all she wanted. I don't see her as being angry at all. I don't know. So it's difficult to extrapolate what is real based on actual evidence that we have about Jane, and what is our idea of what she was like.
Because of the lack of
we don't know anything about
her.
The burning of the letters. Because of Cassandra and her niece. And I guess the same could be said about Shakespeare. True. Is Shakespeare as well known as he is partly because we don't know anything about him?
True. Yeah, that's
the mystery of who he is.
The mystery of when he was born. Because he was christened on the 26th of April.
Yeah.
It's believed he was born on the 23rd, but that's not official.
No.
There's no way of knowing.
No.
And he died, we know for certain he died on the 23rd of April.
Right.
So it's probably most likely that the day that was his, the same day that he was born as he died. We don't know, because at that time the only records available were obviously christening, and that doesn't necessarily mean that he was christened the day that he was born. No. So
he could have been born 2 weeks earlier, or
I think at that time they do it as days because obviously because of child deaths, deaths and everything is kind of get them baptized as early as possible to have them blessed, because it was very shocking. 3 months into his life, there was a massive outbreak of plague in Bath. Sorry, not Bath. In Stratford. I'm on Bath in my mind because we're here. In Stratford. So the fact that he survived that was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. So
perhaps it was meant to be.
Maybe.
Perhaps it was meant to be. And there's the whole Austinian thing about her hating Bath, and yet she lived here for 4 years.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, no, it's more than that, because it was 1811, wasn't it, that they moved? She died in 1817. So about 6 years.
Yeah, but the thing is I always think of her as being, and I said this to the girl at the centre today, as being at the back in the corner, just watching.
Yeah,
I don't think necessarily, but I think she was a watcher of people. Obviously she was a watcher of people.
But I think you could tell by having that trait that writing was.
Yeah.
She was bound to.
And I said to you when we were in there, she would have hated this.
Yeah, she
would have literally
hated it. We were speaking to agreed, didn't she? She would have hated it. It was really interesting though that there was waxwork of what it is believed Jane Austen looked like.
You haven't got it, have you?
It's in the Shakespeare Grab, of what she actually looks like.
Also back from Stratford.
Yes. And it's full of mementos from Bath. And it's really interesting to see it. And she's quite pretty. She's quite pretty, but she's not here she is on the front cover. She's quite pretty, but she's not like hugely pretty, and it links back to the drawings in a sense that we have that Cassandra did, her sister did, of Jane, but it was said that it wasn't a likeness of her at all. So it does kind of link back with the way the hair is done and a bit like kind of her nose, but she's quite sweet looking, isn't she?
Yeah, they used a forensic what's the word? Forensic artist, forensic.
It's not there, Laura.
No, but they use somebody that interviews people to find a suspect, and they describe what they look like, and they went through. I mean, obviously, Austen was talked about by people that knew her, people that met her, and because they were quite expressive in their use of language in letters, they would describe how somebody looks, how somebody would walk into a room, or using incredibly effusive, flowery language, because that's the way that they wrote at the time and the way that they spoke. But yeah, no, we've had a lovely time, haven't we? with Jane
Yeah.
in Bath, and it's been great.
And there are some real duds out there of her adaptations of the work.
Yes, there are.
There really are. But it's very interesting that that thing of, because of Jane Austen, this place is very romanticised.
Mm-hmm.
To the hilt.
Mm-hmm.
When people don't really think about the history of this place.
No, they don't.
Who built it.
Yeah.
And what that actually meant. And Jane actually refers to the slave trade and stuff in one of her books. And and people don't like to talk about it. People don't refer to it.
I mean, like, the Jane Austen Centre's beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's very much the Regency tea room and the little gift shop.
And you get to dress up.
You get, bright with a quill, and it's all lovely. It's all lovely. Don't get me wrong. You're right. It is romantic.
Yeah,
it is romantic. But then the buildings are romantic. The entire atmosphere. Of
it's funny. We were actually this morning walking down Royal Crescent at like 7:30 in the morning. No, because we were just walking.
It was early. It was early.
We were up early.
Yeah.
So we just went out walking to get some fresh air.
Yeah.
Because it's absolutely boiling in this hotel room.
It is.
And it doesn't help that it was so hot yesterday as well. We were just listening to Sensibility and Pride and Prejudice, and we were beaming, and obviously that's some romanticising.
It is.
Where, the area of where we are, because you can't help but do it, because that is what is kind of shoved down your throat with Jane Austen and everything.
Yeah.
It's like a kind of a weird equivalent, then let's just say, like, Disneyland is the happiest place in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's only sunshines and rainbows and smiles and all that lot, but it's like, but it's still a corporation. It's still
a corporation. It's still, everything is, and I don't, Disney is such a wonderful thing. I've never been. I would love to go with my children, but the thing is that it is a machine. Exactly. It is designed to engender those feelings of happiness and warmth, and that's great. But I would love to know, what does it take to make that happen?
Yeah.
And Disney will literally never tell you, because they need the illusion to make you go.
Yeah.
And this city is exactly the same.
It's exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
If you took Jane Austen out of the equation, the only thing that it would have is the Roman baths.
The Roman baths. But I think the Roman bath, I don't think would be enough of a draw. You've got the Abbey.
Yeah.
You've got the Abbey, which is very beautiful.
Yeah, we went today.
But would it be as busy without Jane Austen?
Well, this is the thing. Would any of the shops be as busy?
But then the architecture was here before Jane was here. So,
but Jane romanticises it.
Which
is the draw to come here. Which is what brought us here.
Which is what brought us here, to be fair.
There you go.
So, and we were saying as well that this city is beautiful, but it is a tourist trap, isn't it?
Whereas somewhere like Stratford, where I was earlier this week, is, you feel very
people actually live there.
Yeah, you feel you feel very welcomed as soon as you get there. It's not I'm saying that Bath isn't like that, but just to give you a comparison, it's very family friendly. There's lots of pubs. There's lots of, you've got like, the RSC, and directly across the road is a pound shop.
Yeah.
You've got all of these different,
so you have affordable
society and shop,
and then affordable options.
And then when you come here, it's like
Vinegar Hill and Molten Brown and middle class.
Just to put in perspective, right? Today I went in the Jane Austen Centre. A thimble cost you £5.50.
Yeah.
In the baths, it cost £3. But still, it's like a thimble for £5.50, really.
And like, there was a teapot that was
there was
made
stunning.
to look. It's gorgeous. I really wanted it, and it was like her books on a shelf with the
handle was one end and the spout was the other.
That's it, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was also £79. Yeah. And I'm like, I love Jane Austen? I really do, but do I love her enough to spend £80?
And they did a really annoying thing that they had all these little badges that said I heart, and then it was a character. and they had all the possible ones there, apart from I Heart Darcy, because the only I Heart Darcy stuff were the massive tote bags, which cost £15 minimum.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wanted a little tiny badge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was £1.
Yeah.
You know, it was just, yeah, a bit frustrating, but I did get one called that said Mrs. Darcy in the Roman baths, didn't I? So I got something Jane Austen badges.
You did.
So yeah,
but I didn't because I don't know. I do love this place, but yeah, 79 quid for a teapot's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's
ridiculous.
But you know, it's the touristy thing.
It is, and there were 2 American people in there who were they loved it. They absolutely loved it.
They were just buying their tickets, weren't they, to go up? And the lady was saying, you go upstairs to the left and wait there, and someone will come and do an introduction for you. And they were like, "Oh my God, you're divine!" Wasn't it?
They were very effusive in their compliments. Yes, very effusive.
Whereas we were just like, "Yeah, thank you very much, bye." You know, but yeah, it's just, you know, different cultures, different.
It is.
But yeah, I felt being here in Bath, touristy wise, felt a lot more, as in tour groups and everything. You were a lot more overwhelmed by them than in Stratford.
And what's wonderful though is that you can sit down outside the Abbey by Jack's of London, which is this big touristy shop with Union Jacks just thrown at you from every angle.
And every possible item.
Mugs for London and Oxford, even though they're like an hour and 2 hours away from here. I don't really know why they sell them.
Possible badges, magnets, key rings, bags, cups.
But you can sit there and the entire world walks past you. Yeah. I've heard French, I've heard Spanish, I've heard German, I've heard Japanese, I've heard all sorts of different languages, and that's wonderful. Yeah. And it's great that people from all over the world come here. Yeah. And but Bath without tourism would not have a leg to stand on, I think, would it really? Yeah. But anyway, let's talk about something else. What should we talk about, Becky?
Well, we could talk about, you know, Shakespeare productions and such, if you want to, ones you like, ones we don't like. There are some weird and wonderful Shakespeare stuff out there. I'm throwing straight in the back, in the you know, Bath, the Helen Mirren version of The Tempest. Now, that's an odd one. I don't mind that they changed it so that Prospero is a woman instead of a man.
That's fine. I
have no problem with that.
No, you can gender bend Shakespeare either way.
All the cast, the cinematography, love it. What I don't love is you reducing a 2.5 hour play to an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
But I love it when they do things like that. That version of Hamlet that you were talking about with Papa Ediedu. Is that his surname?
I think so. Yeah.
It was, and it was an African kingdom.
Yeah, it was done, I think, 2 years ago now.
Yeah,
something.
It's covered in colour for some reason.
all of the cast are black, apart from I think 3 or 4. And when I say 3 or 4, 2 of them are not main characters, but characters who, you know, do have lines and all that lot. And I think the other 2 are guards. Mm-hmm. So it's not, they're not very prominent at all in it. And they did gender bend because Guildenstern and Rosencrantz are Hamlet's friends, and they are played by either one white man and one white woman, or 2 white women. I can't remember, because it's been a while since I watched it. But that is so interesting.
Yeah.
And to have the thing of the, you know, African black royal family are all in the most elegant fabrics.
I bet they look amazing.
They look stunning, it's their cultural fabrics, you know, and everything. And then you have, obviously, you go down the different societies, other societies, you go through the past and everything.
Yeah.
And the guy who plays the gravedigger is the guy who also plays Hamlet's dad.
Oh, that's good.
I find that so interesting.
That's really good.
So interesting, because the whole digging the grave and what it means and the passing of the skull.
But you know what, though? the guy that plays Hamlet's father's ghost, or from the father's ghost, that is a big speech, isn't it? Yeah. It's massive. I just don't know how they do it. And Hamlet himself has 3 humongous speeches.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know how actors do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it and manage it, and because what would worry me is what would happen if I was on stage and I start a speech and then a line from another speech comes in and I get lost or confused?
Well, it's the actor, it's how they learn, how they do, and it's like David Tennant, did this profile on a series that was shown on Sky Arts, and I taped the Hamlet one and we watched it together. I've seen it many times, and he was saying that doing Hamlet was the best and the most terrifying thing he'd ever done. And it wasn't until the final performance was over that he felt he could actually breathe. Sorry, hang on guys, I've got something flashing on my screen, hang on. Yes, we're back. Live video, there you go for you. It wasn't until the final performance was over that he could actually breathe for the first time in like a year or something, however long he did it.
I just, and particularly on days when they had matinee days.
Yeah.
It's
4 hours, obviously, depending on how they cut it, how they've decided to take lines out, sections out.
Some people do. The Kenneth Branagh film, as much as it's beautiful, it's really long. It's like you could go away for a long walk and have a sandwich and you'd still be talking
I think
the guard at the beginning.
I think the David Tennant one is 3 hours.
Right, okay, because I think they've cut out the scenes where he's talking to the player, talking about how to edit the play and all that.
No,
doesn't tell him why.
That is in it.
Is that in it?
Yeah, that is in it. I vividly remember.
Right, okay.
But lots of other things and other characters' speeches and such, which aren't necessary to that they can just get rid of.
See, the girl in the David Tennant Ophelia.
Yeah.
Who played Ophelia?
She's done a lot of RSC work.
She has, but I find her voice really. It reminds me of Blancmange. Because
okay.
no. I don't mean that in a horrible way, but she does kind of go quite breathy and shaky all the time. And I get that she's trying to convey that Ophelia's actually really vulnerable and really. But part of me would love to see an Ophelia where, at the madness scene, the vulnerability is gone.
Yeah.
And she's just kind of going, you know what? Fuck you all.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
the more recent one that we were talking about, it's set in Africa and everything. Yeah. She loses it on the stage.
Yeah.
It's
but that's what you need.
And she actually starts ripping massive chunks of her hair out of her head. And obviously the actress is wearing a wig, but still it's like, oh good God, she hands the flowers that she hands out in her madness scene and everything. So it's really interesting with Ophelia and how they play. But there have been some other duds along the way of Shakespeare. So because you remember the Love's Labour's Lost that Kenneth Branagh did. Oh God, what was the other one? There was
As You Like It.
Yeah, there was the Japanese-esque version of As You Like It, wasn't it? That was
which
it.
Is horrible.
Which was weird. Ethan Hawke version of Hamlet. Yeah, that's.
Oh God,
where he's
totally forgotten
where he's
that.
The film student. And oh God, what's his name from Twin Peaks? Plays his dad, the detective.
I don't know.
He's he's done Desperate Housewives and all this lot.
Shall we talk about Joss Whedon's horrific Much Ado About Nothing?
I actually haven't seen it, so
don't bother.
No, but the Ethan Hawke Hamlet's just pretty bizarre. Mel Gibson's Hamlet.
I don't mind that, except Helena could go away.
Yeah,
Helena was so miscast. But to be fair to her, they didn't really give her much to do.
No.
Ophelia's part was cut so much.
Yeah.
It just wasn't worth it. It just
No.
really wasn't worth it.
Playing around with modern interpretations of Shakespeare, I don't mind mind that happening, as I wouldn't like Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
You know, for example. But yeah, even the trailer for the Much Ado About Nothing, it was like, oh, okay, right, I see kind of what you're doing. But I haven't watched it. But you've seen it.
I suffered through it, yes, and I thought, you really don't understand this play, do you, Mr. Wheaton? I'm sorry. It was bad. It was really, really bad. But do you know what we could? Do you know what, actually, going back to Helena?
Yeah.
And it kind of incorporates Rain as well.
Yeah.
One of my favourite films that she ever made was Lady Jane.
Oh yes, yeah.
I love
Lady Jane's a good film. It's a good film.
About Lady Jane Grey and her tragic
9-day reign.
9-day reign, which ended in her losing her head.
She entered the tower and never left.
Never left, no.
Poor thing.
It's
kind of she's one who technically she did become queen, but nobody acknowledges her as being a queen because she only served for 9 days because Mary then lopped her head off.
She was unfortunately manipulated by her parents, and
she didn't know that Edward was going to make her heir to the throne.
No,
she didn't. And it should have and then Mary went, oh, the heir to succession says it should fall to me, not her.
Yeah.
So ignore what Edward said and have her get her head chopped off for treason.
Respected Jane Grey's religion.
It did.
It really does, and it says, yes, this girl was a Protestant. This girl was a zealot. This girl was probably no. They stopped short at fanaticism. But I've read a book about Jane Grey, which is not
and
long
her
at all.
relationship to Edward as well.
Yeah, they kind of make it that Edward VI was in love with her. And he realised he was dying and was manipulated into leaving her his throne. And then she's forced into marriage with a guy called Guildford Dudley, and John Dudley, Guildford's father, is Edward VI's advisor.
Yeah.
And they fall in love, and that sort of becomes part of their downfall, is their love.
Yeah.
And Carrie Elwes from Robin Hood Men in Tights.
And the Princess Bride is also
in it, and also amazing in it. And I haven't seen him in a film for years. Maybe he's given it up, I don't know.
No, have you watched the recent Disney Christmas Carol?
No, I
with
haven't.
Jim Carrey?
Nope.
I thought you had.
No. Is he in it?
Yes, he plays quite a few characters in
Does
it.
he?
Yeah.
But
you can hear his voice you can tell it's him.
He's got a very clipped English voice, hasn't he? But that was great because it respected Jane's religion and the role her religion plays in her life.
Yeah.
Whereas Rain doesn't even really touch on Mary's religion, does it?
Really.
And Mary's religion was the whole reason she was executed.
Yeah.
If she had converted to Protestantism or bowed down and said, okay, you win.
Yeah.
Or maybe negotiated with Elizabeth to say, could we somehow co-rule or something? Not that Elizabeth would ever have accepted that, but she refused to compromise, and that's part of the reason why she lost her head, wasn't it?
Yep.
It was a power play between these two women, and I'm not sure how Rain will cope with that.
Well, we're only half. Well, I'm halfway through series 2. You're at the beginning.
True, but it will be interesting to see how Rain copes with that relationship because it was such a complex one. Because I believe that Elizabeth was genuinely gutted to have to do what she had to do, but she had to do it.
Yeah,
and that's what being a queen is.
It was the thing that she debated for a very long time of should she sign it, should she? The death warrant. Shouldn't she? Then she finally signed it, and then the following morning she tried to turn back on it, and he went, "No, it's too late. Messenger's gone.
Yeah,
can't stop it now." And she regretted it, I think, for the rest of her life.
I do, but I think when you're in that situation, survival is all. Survival is key, and she knew that Mary had tried to have her killed.
Yeah.
And she needed to send a message to anybody else.
Yeah.
I've killed your figurehead.
Yeah.
What makes you think I won't kill you? You know? So, and she just did what she had to do.
Yeah.
But we shall see how Rain deals with that.
Yeah, it's interesting looking at how history is portrayed in various dramas and such.
Because I've seen it where Mary Queen of Scots is, as in Rain, a kind of flighty teenager with an idea that she's a queen but not really knowing what that means. I've seen it portrayed where she's a fanatic, like a total fanatic, as portrayed by Samantha Morton in Elizabeth the Golden Age.
Yes.
I've seen it where she's kind of a little bit of both, where she's naive, she falls in love, she falls out of love, she makes rash, ridiculous decisions which end up causing more problems for herself, as Vanessa Redgrave.
Yep.
Is that just called Queen Mary?
I think it might be.
Or Mary Queen of Scots.
Yeah.
But her life has been portrayed on film since film existed because she's so fascinating. And you know, it is true. It's true that the way that historical characters is portrayed really is about the agenda that the writer has. Because in Elizabeth and Elizabeth the Golden Age, you do see Elizabeth as a teenager, as coming to terms with having to do not nice things as queen. And then in the second film, she's been queen for a while and she knows the score now. But you never get the feeling that she doesn't have anything except England's best interests at heart. Whereas I've seen in other versions of her, like the one with Helen Mirren and Jeremy Irons, she just has temper tantrums, just to have temper tantrums.
Yeah, the Virgin Queen with Anne-Marie Duff's quite interesting, because she's kind of in the middle of both of those two polar opposites. That sometimes she does have temper tantrums, and other times she's, you know, very understanding of what's going on, and she's on it, you know, and accepts her advisor's advice, you know, and does makes a decision calculated and taking in all the facts.
But then, to be fair, if you had the childhood that Elizabeth had, never knowing from one day to the next if you were going to be executed because of your sister,
and having a terrible childhood with, you know, your it'd be her fifth mother technically because of her father's marriage, with and her new husband who was sexually assaulting her, and you know, and such, and her not being able to confide in anyone about it. You know.
She was a survivor. She was a survivor, and she did some not nice things in order to survive, and you just have to do what you have to do. But you're right, I mean, you know, you could take it back.
We started this kind of talking about things that we like and things that we don't like, and we've kind of looked at like Austen and Shakespeare, and it's our history and how it's portrayed, isn't it?
I was just about to say Shakespeare in Love. Shakespeare is portrayed as...
I love Shakespeare.
I love Shakespeare in Love. It's one of my favourites. I bought it on Blu-ray the other day, and it looks the biz. But Shakespeare in Love, he's portrayed as a kind of flighty, nice, good man who falls in love and neglects to tell the woman he falls in love with that he's married, and that causes a big thing.
He's having problems that he can't.
He's got writer's block.
He's got writer's block.
Yeah.
He's you know, but I love how Kit Marlowe is even portrayed, even though it's one scene.
Yeah, Kit Marlowe, his rival, who goes up to him. And he tells him his ridiculous idea.
Will comes up to him in a bar, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And Will tells him about
Romeo and Ethel.
Romeo and Ethel, the pirate's daughter. Yeah. and he basically flushes it out
Rewrites it.
and rewrites it for him.
He just gives him a rough outline,
Yeah,
doesn't he?
rough outline, but it's enough.
Yeah.
But it's so brilliant, like, because once he meets Gwyneth Paltrow's character Violet, he writes the outline basically of Romeo and Juliet and sends it to her, and her nurse, who is played by Imelda Staunton, goes, "Oh, Verona again." It's just, it's
my favourite
so
scene.
many little quirks and stuff to it. Is fantastic.
My favourite scene in it is where they're doing the balcony scene, and it goes between the rehearsals of the play and them in bed,
and they're reciting the lines.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. But Shakespeare is portrayed as a poor actor who poor as in monetarily poor, not poor as in bad. Who does his best, writes his plays. Nobody's actually that bothered about him as far as his playwriting is concerned. They're more interested in Marlowe and his plays, and I love it. I do love it. But do we need Shakespeare to be a good person in that?
Well, not necessarily, but then it's the whole of how we see. It's like Jane Austen has got a shimmer.
Yeah.
Shimmer. But don't you find it interesting also that our history, like Austen, Shakespeare, Tudors, that kind of thing, that part of our history will get dramas and all that lot. More modern history or other periods of history?
Not really.
Don't get a look in.
Not really. Because, I mean, I'd love to see a drama about... I'd love to see a drama about, I don't know, working class people in the 30s that has absolutely nothing to do with Nazis.
Or Downton Abbey-esque.
Or like a drama about... Do you know what I'd love, actually? A drama set in Africa before slavery.
Cool, yeah.
Where Africa is not about the slave trade.
Yeah.
Or the horrific consequences of that. I'm so bored of seeing black actors being reduced to just playing parts like that, if that's all they can get.
And looking at, like...
It's like I'm dreading Outlander Season 3, because that's part of it.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really hard to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I was saying today that there's a biography that I can't find anywhere of someone who was very important in our history. Like, seriously, our monarchy system
would not be the way it was without her.
Would not be the way without her, and nobody writes about her, and there's no drama about her, and that's Matilda. The wife of Henry I.
The Pillars of the Earth covers her slightly.
Slightly, but she's not...
she's not the main character by any means.
No, because Henry I was married to Matilda, and they had a young son, a very young son, Henry II, and the crown, because of the way that it fell and everything, should have gone to her, because she, is the regent, as it were, for Henry, the little boy, took the crown. But the cousin, Stephen, who weirdly also was married to a woman called Matilda, there's two Matildas that got played into this, took the crown off her. And there was a raging war and everything between the family. And Stephen eventually died, and the crown did then fall to Henry because he died without any children. Yeah. So technically, all this.
No, he did have a son, Eustace. He was training Eustace to be king, but Eustace died in battle.
Oh
Henry killed him.
Yes, of course. Yes, sorry, I forgot that. So the crown fell to Henry anyway. So Matilda never got her thing, but she started up the battles. She actually, at one point, she was captured. She pretended to be dead in order for her body to then be thrown out of the prison, and then she scurried away and managed to, they literally went, "Oh yeah, she's dead. Throw her out the window," and she survived this.
But
it was just.
Then there's a lot of parallels between her and Margaret. Margaret Beaufort. Yeah, Henry VII's mother. Because the White Princess is being shown at the moment over the seas.
Yes,
but not
here. I want to see it.
I do. I follow a channel on YouTube that loads of stuff, and it looks really good. Jodie Comer, to be fair to her, because she's been a bit hit and miss sometimes with her acting, I feel. She's doing Elizabeth of York beautifully.
Oh, okay.
Really, really, really well.
Cool.
But no,
there's certain periods of our history that we don't look at. There's certain periods, like, you know, certain characters, like, you know,
there's something
Matilda.
on Netflix I really want to watch. It's about the beginnings of the Troubles in Ireland.
Oh, right.
I think it's called Revolution, which is the restaurant we've just been to.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
You know, because there's a lot of films that cover the 60s and the 70s and that horrific time in Ireland.
Yeah.
But not the beginning of that.
No.
How did that happen?
Yeah. With Catholics.
Easter riots and all
Easter
that.
riots and Catholics and Protestants.
Yeah.
And how it's still a major issue to this day.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It's our history.
Well, we say it's a major issue. I think it's an issue that's always under the surface, bubbling away.
Well, that's what I mean. It's there.
It is definitely there.
It's you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you know.
But yeah, that was something of a gobbledygook of a
yeah. That it's kind of
video,
it's kind of become about UK history, how it's portrayed and such, and dramas and some good, some bad. But you know, we have some kooky videos sometimes.
We
don't
do.
We? But yeah, I think are we about done?
So.
I think so. All right then, guys. Thank you for watching our kooky video for today, and we'll see you guys around.
Bye.
Bye.